I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what else to do but laugh. I just need to laugh as a way to accept the pain. That should be the slogan for Heat fans this year. Laugh as a way to cope with the pain. That's what it is. Because what a brutal season it is to be a Miami Heat fan. I think Adam Barai put this on Twitter a few weeks ago, and I loved it. He said that this era of Heat basketball is the hope and cope era, because you hope to get a star, you hope something good happens, and then you cope when it doesn't. And that has been the extent, or that has been what this season has been to the highest degree. Because not only are you losing all of these games and you have a pretty terrible record right now, but you are losing them in the most heartbreaking fashion. Where tonight, the Miami Heat played pretty decent defense on Anthony Edwards, good defense on Julius Randle. You had some crazy moments, some great runs. We'll talk about that insanely fun third quarter that they had. And then in the fourth quarter, where it looked like all hope was lost, Duncan Robinson hits a miracle three. Anthony Edwards turns it over, and you have a chance to win the game at the buzzer. Bam Adebayo completely bricked the three to do so, but I would have rather just lost when we thought we had no chance to lose than to get my hopes all the way up just to be dropped down once again. I was actually about to start recording this video with 20 seconds left in the game, but I was like, you know what? Let me hope for a miracle. And they damn near almost got one. I mean, you can go back to the Cavs loss, a game or two ago now, where Duncan Robinson hit a three to tie the game, but he stepped out of bounds. Why is that the three that Duncan Robinson has to miss? I would have rather him miss that three versus the Cavs, because now I don't have the heartbreak of, damn, if only his shoe was a half a size smaller. Oh, just what a brutal season to be a Miami Heat fan. And not to count the dozen double-digit fourth-quarter leads that they've blown. And just blowing leads in historic fashion. 22-point fourth quarter blown lead to the Detroit Pistons earlier this year. Like, oh my God. Oh, this season sucks. It's a season from hell. As my guy Brendan Tobin says, really, truly the season from hell. I mean, the optimistic person in me wants to say that everything happens for a reason, baby. You know, just like we talked about recently, you know, the year before Dwayne Wade was drafted, the Heat played the Raptors last game of the season. Loser gets the number 4 pick in the draft and the right to draft Chris Bosh. Both teams were trying to lose, but the Miami Heat ended up winning. But of course, it worked out because they got Dwayne Wade. So it's stuff like that that just really helps me stay sane. Is that you have to believe everything happens for a reason. That is the only way that you would not drive yourself nuts just watching these games. Because the butterfly effect is crazy, y'all. Who knows? Maybe, again, this is me trying to cope. This is why this is the hope and cope era. But maybe because Bam missed that three at the end, the Heat will end up picking a spot higher in the draft, and then maybe they get the next Dwayne Wade, right? That's really the only positive I could say. I mean, it is kind of annoying. Bam definitely got fouled on that game-winning attempt. He was complaining to the ref afterwards. Randall had his hand all over Bam's side when he was shooting. But at the same time, it looked like Anthony Edwards didn't really tap the ball out of bounds the possession before that. It looked like Hayward Highsmith actually did. So you can say it all evened out. But let's go ahead and get into my notes for this game, where to begin with, you had no Rudy Gobert, which really sucked because y'all know how much I hate Rudy Gobert. There's 4 players in this league that I hate. I don't like Devin Booker. Kyrie Irving was on that list, but he's kind of had a nice run with Dallas. I've softened up on Kyrie a bit, but playoff P, Paul George, I hate that bum. And at the very top of that list of players that I hate is Rudy Gobert. I think that guy absolutely sucks, and I've went on many long rants on this channel about him. But considering we're already almost 5 minutes into this video and I've barely talked about the game, I don't want to start a Gobert rant now, especially since he didn't play. But the point is, if he would have played, I'm nearly certain the Heat would have had a better chance at winning. But he did not play. The Heat also had, of course, no Andrew Wiggins, who has now missed like 7 of 13 games with Miami. Sucks. Got rid of Jimmy Butler because he had availability concerns. Now you get Andrew Wiggins, who's barely played, but it's just a sprained ankle, so hopefully it's sort of a fluke thing and he can come back better than ever. Hopefully, again, with the coping. But you still had no Khalil Ware dealing with like his knee issue or whatever it was. And then no Alec Burks today too. So that was kind of scary when we found out that news earlier, because then it might have seemed like, hey, maybe we're in for another long night of Terry Rozier, which we weren't. He didn't play too many minutes, but he played almost the whole fourth quarter, which I did not appreciate, but we'll get into that. But point is, in the first half, you got a really aggressive Bam Adebayo. He was awesome once again today. Just keep stringing these great games together. Dropped 29 today, so almost back-to-back 30-point games for Bam Adebayo. He was attacking Naz Reid. He was just all over the place. Got to the free throw line a ton. Can't say enough great things about Bam Adebayo of late, but nothing new tonight. He continued the great play that we saw. The Heat would go down pretty early. They went down as much as 11, but then actually went on a 20-7 run to take the lead. So their first really great run of the game, because they had a few of them. Actually, to eventually take the lead, Hero just had an incredible strip on Jaden McDaniels, who looked like he had a wide open dunk. But Hero got a great strip, started the break, led to a Pelle Larson layup for the lead. I really think Tyler Hero's playmaking was great today. I think it was pretty good. And then he hit a huge transition three the play after that. So it was a tough fadeaway. We've been iffy on those Hero shots. One of the no, yes shots. But this time he hit it, so the Heat were able to go on a pretty decent run. They would end up only being tied at halftime. But another positive is they kept Anthony Edwards pretty much in check. He was only 2 for 5. And the interesting part about that is going into the game, I was looking at Anthony Edwards' line on the anonymous player prop betting app that doesn't sponsor me, so I'm not going to say their name. It doesn't sponsor me yet. Like I said, y'all, make sure you subscribe. Those numbers mean a lot right now. But anyways, I was looking at that line for Edwards, and I was thinking about taking the under, which I should have, of course, but mostly because I was thinking that he was going to be hounded by Davion Off-Night Mitchell all game. But he really wasn't. For most of the game, it was either Hayward Highsmith on him, or primarily the Heat were playing a lot of zone, which had Davion and Hayward at the top of the zone. This is probably the most zone that the Heat have ever ran in a game in a very long time. We know Spo likes to go to that zone quite a bit, but he likes to kind of throw it in pieces of the game, take it in and out to kind of throw off the opposing offense. But he ran it for it seemed like 80% of the game today. I'm very curious to see if the numbers come out that show how many possessions they ran it. But for the most part, yeah, Davion and Hayward at the top, which is just great because at the top of a zone, really all around the zone and in the middle, so everywhere in the zone, you need fast guys that can cover a lot of area. But at the top of the key, just having the speed of Davion Mitchell, the lateral quickness, and then the length of Hayward Highsmith with his wingspan to really clog up anyone from getting any dribble penetration. Oh, it just works so beautifully. And they really made things hell for Anthony Edwards all night. But going into the second half now, Edwards actually checked in late, so we're starting to wonder, was it a health thing? Was he okay? Was he getting benched because the effort wasn't great in the first half? I don't know. He just really wasn't attacking. But he did actually end up checking into the second half after the Timberwolves went on a 9-0 run. So the Miami took the lead. Then the Timberwolves went on a huge run of their own. You were thinking, uh-oh, here we come, third quarter, blowout city. But Tyler Hero did hit a really big three to stop the bleeding, and I thought that was a huge point of the game because it kept the Heat in it instead of it going the completely other direction. It wasn't a lot of greats, though, from Hero. There was a few plays in the first half. I thought he had some bonehead turnovers, then didn't get back on defense. We saw that at the same point in the third quarter where he thought he got fouled, didn't get back on defense, led to a Dante DiVincenzo layup. Plays like that, I think, need to be completely eliminated. That's the turnovers, you make a mistake, fine. Get back on defense. That type of stuff should never really happen. But, for the most part this season, Tyler Hero's effort, I think, has been very good. He actually had a huge block late in the fourth quarter, too. So I think he was good in the zone defense today, too. But just a couple times I noticed today, get back on defense, especially in a game like this that was so close and so back and forth. But then this is where we get to 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, where we just saw an insane sequence where the Miami Heat scored 8 points in 22 seconds. So the Heat were down 11. We're coming back from timeout, and Eric Reed says the Heat need some kind of spark. Boy, did they get one. Because Bam Adebayo just hit a nasty, heavily contested three-pointer, nothing but net. He did the Nikola Jovic putting the three to the dome. And then you got a steal by Duncan Robinson, who immediately retreats to the three-point line, pulls for three, bang. Then Tyler Hero gets a great steal off some pressure, finds Bam Adebayo for just an absolutely great dunk, and that's how the Heat scored 8 points in just 22 seconds there. The run ended up being an 18-4 run. over a 3-minute span, just had incredible defense playing the passing lanes. Haywood Highsmith was all over the place that quarter. Really reminded me of, if y'all remember, game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals versus Boston in 2022. I think the Heat outscored Boston that quarter like 39-14. And that's when you had Jimmy playing the passing lanes, Bam stripping Jaylen Brown. Victor Oladipo was all over the place. And I had never seen such a dominating defensive stretch that leads to like fast breaks like I did in that game versus Boston. And today's third quarter, the end of it, kind of reminded me of that. But all of that being said, it was still tied at the end of the third quarter. Kind of, again, like the Cavs game. Cavs got up big a few times. The Heat would go on these monster runs, and no matter what they did, they still scored. They still played even in each quarter with the Cavs. Similar story today with the Timberwolves. But to start the fourth quarter, I was scared because the Undertaker subbed in, which of course is the new nickname for Terry Rozier, which, shout out to Heat vs. Haters on Twitter, is now popularizing. They didn't come up with the nickname. They put a tweet asking for new Terry nicknames, and someone in the comments replied with that. I forget who that was, but now Heat vs. Haters is popularizing it. And the reason it's such a great nickname is because, one, like the Undertaker, I'm not a wrestling guy. I know, I'm sorry, but his whole thing is like he's dead, I guess, or rises from the dead, where Terry Rozier is just dead, I guess, or he contributes nothing in that way. But the funnier part is the only way to successfully win money while betting on Terry Rozier is to take the under. Therefore, his nickname is the Undertaker. So I just feel like all around, it's a great nickname. So that's what I'll be referring to Terry Rozier as from now on. But he did have an okay fourth quarter to start, hit a 3. Then for some reason he was mean mugging, like that wasn't his first basket of the game. He literally hit a 3 and was like, okay, relax. You literally have 3 points, but cool. And then Tyler Hero had a wild and one. The Heat were about to turn the ball over, and Hero caught it and flicked it up with his right hand off the backboard. Good and one. He missed the free throw, but still, the Heat that put the Heat up 3 at that point in the game. And I'm thinking, okay, that's a little bit of a momentum shifter. There was 8 minutes left in the quarter, and the Heat were in the bonus. Up 3, 8 minutes to go. You're in the bonus already? That's the game you got to win. And of course, it didn't happen. With 6.5 minutes to go, we saw Spo utilize a lineup of Terry Rozier, Davion Mitchell, Tyler Hero, Haywood Highsmith, and Bam Adebayo. I saw that unit check into the game, and I said, what the hell is Spo doing? 3 guards? Terry, Tyler, Davion? What? Anybody with a brain cell could see that wasn't going to work. But except for Eric Spoelstra. Spoelstra says, let's do it. Oh, Pelle Larsson, he's doing okay today. No. Duncan Robinson, shooting well. No. Not put him in there. But he goes with Terry. And Terry ended up playing, let me see how many minutes Terry actually ended up playing in the whole game. Terry Rozier played only 13 minutes. I think 10 of those was in the fourth quarter. Make it make sense. Yeah, let's play the guy 13 minutes because he's not that good. But let's make almost all of them in the fourth quarter of a tie game. The stupidity of Spoelstra this year, I can't understand it. But it would be a clutch fourth quarter anyways. I mean, Hero and Ant, they would trade a couple of threes with 5 minutes to go. So it was tied again. But then Naz Reid hit a couple of buckets, and that's when the Wolves kind of took their lead. And I don't think the Heat ever got it back after that point. Eventually, Spoelstra subbed back in Duncan Robinson for Terry Rozier. Thank God Terry didn't finish the game with that unit. And then the defense from that point on, we're talking like the last 3 minutes of the game, was awesome. Anthony Edwards could do nothing. He was being guarded by Davion and Man. There'd be a switch. Then Bam would be on Ant. And then there'd be another switch, and Haywood would be on Ant. And they were just suffocating him completely, making life super difficult for him. Haywood even had a monster tip off an Anthony Edwards pass. But then it landed right in the hands of Jaden McDaniels, who caught it and laid it in. That would put the Timberwolves up 5 with a minute to go. So in a possession where the Heat needed to stop, they almost got it. But they just got the bad luck of the draw. And unfortunately, that's just the way this season's gone. That's the way this game gone. The ball ends up right in Jaden McDaniels, who at the time we thought put the dagger in the Miami Heat, especially since after that, the Heat had a wide open Duncan 3, a wide open Tyler 3. They missed them both. So you had your good looks. You couldn't hit them. And then even after that, the Heat would foul. Dante DiVincenzo missed both his free throws after the Heat intentionally fouled. But then Julius Randle got the freaking rebound. Oh, my God. Just that can't happen. You can't intentionally foul. You get them to miss both. You get the miracle scenario. And then you give up the offensive rebound. But still after that, Randall missed a free throw, and then that's when Duncan hit his wild three, and then the Heat got the steal, and they had the chance to win and just didn't get it. So for some reason, the Heat always blow these leads in amazing fashion, but when it's our turn to maybe get a win in an amazing fashion, no, it doesn't happen. That's just what it is, or it is what it is this year. Pelle Larsson in his first start at home this year, 18 minutes, got you 5 points. He was 2 for 8. He's not that good a shooter for someone as white as he is. When is the last time you've had a white boy that can't shoot who wasn't like a big man, right? Isn't that just weird? I don't know. Kevin Love only played 10 minutes today, got you 6 points. Bam Adebayo stuffed the stat sheet, 11 of 21 from the field. So it was over 50%, 1 of 5 from 3, so not great there. But Bam still missed a couple of bunnies today. He could have had close to 35 points, but I'm not going to get on him for after scoring 29, 13, and 4. Yeah, he was awesome tonight. Played 43 minutes, too. Wow. First night of a back-to-back, too. Bam played 43 minutes. Damn. Tyler Hero, I think, was pretty good today, too. Although he shot 9 of 21. That's not great. He was 4 of 8 from 3, which is a better percentage than he's been shooting, but he did miss some big ones late. And I don't like the 22 points on 21 shots. But regardless, he still had 22 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and only 2 turnovers. Tyler Hero was good today. So it was nice to see him back in action. Stuff the stat sheet. Davion Mitchell, man, 7 points. He wasn't too efficient, but 10 assists for your boy. 10 assists to 1 turnover for Davion Mitchell. I always hear telling y'all all season Heat don't have a true point guard. Maybe his name is Davion Mitchell. Now, shout out to him. He's actually been playmaking really well and continues to be well for the Heat. Hayward got you 9 points off the bench. Duncan got you 15, so he's really been shooting well as of late. And then you got like 10 minutes apiece, basically, from Anderson, Hawkins, and Terry, who really didn't do too much. But it was nice to see Jaime Hawkins back, by the way. His ankle sprain a few games ago looked awful. Luckily, it wasn't as bad as it looked. Anyways, that's all I got to say about this game because the Heat do play again tomorrow versus Chicago Bulls, a team that, right now the Heat are 7th in the standings and the Bulls are 10th, but they're 5 games back of us. So either way, they probably can't catch us, especially if we beat them tomorrow. But make sure y'all leave a like, subscribe, comment, all that great stuff is really appreciated. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out, everyone.
Look, pull up in your city, tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.